Good evening, everyone. It's 7 p.m., so we'll start the board meeting. This is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. One request of the superintendent, the district shall make reasonable accommodation for a person with disabilities to be able to participate in this meeting. Our first order of business is our call to order and our roll call.
Mr. Albright.
Here.
Mr. Arnold. Mrs. Brutterly. Yes. Mrs. Fredericks.
Here.
Ms. Kangas. Mr. Lundy. Mrs. Guerra. Here. Mr. Naughton.
Here.
Mr. Patel.
Here.
Next on our agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes.
I move the Board of Education approve the meeting minutes from 3/7 as presented.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll put to a vote. All those in favor of approving the meeting minutes as presented from March 7th, 2022, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Next is the approval of our agenda. The board policy provides the superintendent of schools shall prepare an agenda for all board meetings as directed by the president of the Board of Education.
I move that the Board of Education approve the agenda as presented. I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as presented. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Moving on, we have a spot for school presentations, but we have an indication that we don't have any school presentation. So we will move to our first opportunity for public comment. During public comment, each speaker is allotted a maximum of 5 minutes for a total of 30 minutes unless otherwise notified. Each speaker will be asked to announce his, her, or their name, district of residence, and indicate if he, she, they represents any organization or agency. No person may speak more than once on the same subject during a single meeting. Those wishing to receive a personal response from the board or superintendent must complete a public comment form available at the meeting entrance and on our website. In addition, as presiding officer, I would like to remind everyone that public comments should pertain to Dexter Community School District matters and concerns related to the operation of the schools or matters within the authority of the board. Those who wish to speak shall direct all comments to the board and not to staff or other participants. Also, speakers addressing the board shall take into consideration rules of common courtesy. Speakers who make attacks of a personal nature and or who do not abide by the rules of common courtesy will be reminded of such rules by the board president, which is me. Such individuals may be asked to leave the meeting if their behavior is disruptive or interferes with the orderly progress of the meeting. Also, please understand that board members do not respond to public comments, but we will listen very carefully and will follow up as appropriate. If there is an immediate need for clarification, we will do so after the speaker's allotted time. Is there anyone who would wish to participate in the public comment time at this moment? You can approach the podium and raise your hand. No one raising their hand nor running up to the podium. We will move on to the next part of our agenda, which is administrative and board updates, starting with an update from the superintendent.
Brief update, 1 week till spring break. Everybody's ready. Spring sports are started. Things are rolling. Band, 5th and 6th grade band extravaganzas over the weekend. It's feeling more and more normal every day.
That's a great update. Tonight for my board president report or update, I just wanted to give a personal nice note to Craig McCullough, our principal of operations, for all the work that he has done in his first months of taking on this position. The time and work that he has put into getting everything organized and rolling has been remarkable. We've always been so lucky to have Mr. McCullough in our district. And once again, I've been reminded over the past couple months how lucky we are to have him on our team. So I wanted to thank him for getting all of the bids and doing the research and prioritizing how to spend the rest of the Series 1 bond. I know some of the projects may not seem like the most glamorous, of items to do in our district, but we have to remember that our bond money helps our district improve our buildings and property and purchase equipment in ways that we cannot do from our general fund. And of course, I always love to mention that we are very lucky to have a very supportive community that passes those bond proposals. But I just wanted to give my shout out to Mr. McCullough. Okay, thank you. And with that, I'll move on to Aiden and Griffin for the student reports.
So at Edgar Beacon, there are many March Reading Month activities going on, one of which includes a book bracket with 8 books, where it sounds like class will read 2 books, and then based upon their comprehension, which one they like the most, be voted on and moved to the next round. Also many other things such as Spirit Days, and there's books that are going on this week. At Wiley, there are, again, Spirit Days going on each day, such as Read the Fort. And some days, 3rd and 4th graders partner up and read to each other. And many teachers, due to the success of this, have said they'll keep doing it throughout the rest of the year. And that's about it.
At the high school first, spring sports started back up, like Tim said. Then high school professional development's been going on. Teachers have been going around to other teacher classrooms and taking a look at how other teachers teach, taking advice from each other, kind of working together. That's the high school development that's happening right now. And then senior activities starting back up. Haven't had them in a couple of years. Senior survival is the other one. The senior activities, blanking on a few of them right now. But like Tim said, stuff's getting back to normal, which is always good to see. Moving to Mill Creek, last week there was a collection drive for the Ozone House at Ann Arbor. That got them a Spirit Week this week, so that's going on. Tuesday from 3 to 5 is the Staff B Student Dodgeball Game fundraiser, and that goes to the Zion Family Health Clinic, which is a nonprofit for helping out citizens in Saya, Uganda. And then moving over to Creekside, the Creekside music concerts are happening. There was the Band Extravaganza kind of 5th and 6th grade band concert was Sunday, and then orchestra is this Tuesday. And students are currently creating art murals right now to kind of boost morale in Creekside. And guests from Summit Learning are currently there to evaluate the school for the RISE Award, which is a prestigious award that schools participating in Summit Learning can get. So that'd be very nice if they got that. And then last April 21st is Creekside's first activity night. That's I think all the student updates.
Part of the extravaganza for the marching band.
Yeah, there was the jazz band that played for the high school, and then the high school marching band kind of came on and just did that because it's a big motivator for the younger kids to keep wanting to stay in band if they see the marching band and they see what they get to be in a couple of years. So that happened. No, this was a student group, just after school volunteer group of just students playing.
Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on, we'll go to our consent items, which include our budget report.
I move that the Board of Education receive the February 2022 budget report.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, to a vote to receive the February 2022 budget report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. It has been received. Next, we have our action items, starting with our 2022 to 2027 strategic plan. The adoption of the
2021-2026 plan was delayed due to the pandemic, but is now ready to be formally adopted by the Dexter Community Schools Board of Education. The plan includes 5 strategic initiatives that will lead to the expansion in support of programming for our students in our community for years to come. Your packet contains a memo summarizing the plan's development and the proposed 2021 to 2026 strategic plan. This item was previously discussed at the March 7th, 2022 meeting and is presented for action this evening.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the attached strategic plan for 2022 to 2027 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I guess I just want to say that we had a really thorough review of this plan at the last meeting. I appreciated the opportunity to hear the history, to review the development, to review all of the parties who were involved in the editing and revisions of all the many steps of the plan. And I appreciate that the district was able to put this up separately on the website so that community members can find it easily for people who are interested in hearing from it.
I absolutely agree. I feel like we had a nice discussion at the last meeting.
We went into great detail at the last meeting.
Yeah.
The only thing that's updated is, it said 2021. it's 2022.
2022,
So I updated 8 years.
which makes sense.
I did on the slide, website.
That's what-
In the packet. It's the one. Because that was gonna be my comment. You know, it's just that we talked about sliding it over and make sure it matches.
Any more discussion? All right, so we put it to a vote to adopt the attached strategic plan for the 2022-2027 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. It has been adopted. Moving on to our second action item is the WISD Fiber Consortium. The Washtenaw Intermediate School District WISD Fiber Network is owned and operated by WISD on behalf of all constituent districts. This is a shared governance and cost agreement to maintain this resource for the educational endeavors of the county. This agreement covers the actual fiber optic cable, equipment to manage the network, and a portion of staff costs. The network is connected to the statewide education network, SEN, which is a statewide private network that allows the reduction of internet costs in addition to transport for other statewide services. Your packet includes a draft master service agreement, which requires board approval. This item was previously discussed at March 7th, 2022 meeting and is presented for action.
I move the Board of Education authorize the superintendent to approve the attached 2022-2027 Washtenaw County Schools Fiber Consortium Master Service Agreement, amending our address.
I'm just gonna say that.
Amending our address, that's my motion.
I'll
Just gonna
second.
interrupt you along the way.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, so I missed last week. I saw the thing on the video and watched the whole thing, so strategic plan was very well discussed. This one, one question I have, the long-term costs. Employees, I wasn't sure, were these full-time employees hired by the WISD or?
They're all employees of the Washington Intermediate School District that run, it's a consortium, so this tech consortium, the fiber is for all of the public schools in the county. And it, historically, what happened is we would kind of pay as we went and try to piece it together, but technology has gotten to the point where I want to say it was 5 years ago, maybe, into this consortium model. And it has increased our security, it's increased our sustainability as a network.
I could get that. One question I have is if we sit an alternate, then customers would bill it 81 cents, $81, instead of an hour. Or is that for different add-on services or as new services? On page
If
14,
needed,
yeah,
yeah, it's if needed.
needed. But mostly some sort of cost or plan for cost transfer or some sort.
Yeah,
cost
we do a
share.
chargeback
Chargeback.
system. There are times though, like we have had to get assistance this year with people. We've been in transition of staff, so we've been paying rate similar to that. We will be fine by fall. Paying rate to get our stuff up to speed. After people.
That's all. Just one of those.
So we'll put it to a vote to authorize the superintendent to approve the attached 2022, sorry. Yeah, that's right. 2022, 2027 Washtenaw County Schools Fiber Consortium Master Agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Sounds like it has been approved. Authorized. Next up is our bleacher replacement bid approval. On March 7th, 2022, the Facilities Committee reviewed bids for the all-red visitor bleachers replacement. Your packet contains the bid tabulation and recommendation letter from Craig McCullough, Principal for Operations. The sole bidder, Southern Bleachers, included a voluntary alternate.
Well, thank you. I figured I'd come up. I figured there would be questions. Mara, thank you for those kind words to begin with. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry.
Not to jump in.
No, no.
I move that the Board of Education award contracts for bid packet number 1, category 12-1, bleacher replacement approval to Southern Bleachers for a total amount not to exceed $149,570.
I'll second. Seconded. Any discussion? Thank you for coming up.
There we go. Sorry. Again, here we go. Thank you for those kind words one more time. So Southern Bleacher was the sole bid we have. When we first bid out the document, we bid out for replacement of the bleachers to put a new set of bleachers, and there was an alternate for a raised ADA platform. Part of the reasoning for it was when we looked at the bleachers, we had thought about putting a raised set of bleachers there to begin with, but when the architect first looked at the site, there wasn't enough room to do that. So to truly give access to people who needed it, we looked at putting in a raised platform. Southern Bleacher came back when they really had their architects look at it again in our size and space, like we can get you a raised set of bleachers, which then puts the ADA and accessibility all together, kind of like the home side. So really what they did is they changed a little bit of, we still have the same size of the bleachers. They're still working around the light pole. They're doing all the work, but instead of having the bleachers in a separate raised platform, it's actually all going to be together. So they can raise it, put the ramp in for less expensive than we first thought. So that was a change in the alternative why they put it in.
So even though it was sole bid, this was pretty much the better of option.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Southern Bleacher is an amazing company, you know, that does a lot of this work around. So it'll look very much like the home side, will be the visitor side, raised up platform, everybody together for accessibility, just smaller than our home side.
Yeah, and it's kind of uncommon for specialized work like this to get one bidder, especially in this economy where there are issues with supply chains, et cetera. It's who has access.
When contract is signed with them,
Yes.
what's the time frame and how will they work around football, track, basically everything that's going on? I wouldn't say just football, but
Yep.
track, field is big out there, obviously.
Yep. So great questions. So Link. So I'll be honest with you, when it gets approved, I have an email that's going to go right away. Link, the guy in Southern Bleachers, and I have become friends, as soon as I can get it in, he goes, really, if you get the order in sooner, you're going to be ahead of people around the country. So as soon as it's approved, an email will be sent to them. They've been looking at 120-day to 150-day leadway, which puts us to about end of September, which means 2 football games. If we're looking at it right now, we are looking at bleachers. We'll get we have a plan for the bleachers to bring bleachers for visitor fans to sit on and when they're there. Right now, we're going to wait to get rid of these bleachers till after May 13th. May 13th is that huge track and field event here. So they're going to start the work on the 16th was the plan right now. Removal of the bleachers and putting a cement pad in for safety will only take about 14 days. So it'll be, that work should get done relatively soon. If there was a reason we felt we wanted to push it back farther, we could do that. The company that works in demolition, they've been pretty flexible. They wanted to start at May 1st. I said, can you wait 2 weeks? Let us get this big event in and done before you make it happen. So my hope is the sooner rather than later we get the order in, we can get our bleachers here as fast as we can.
In
Get
the
them
next
installed.
package in the pavement bid, we have the pad that would be poured for the new bleachers. So the pad will go in
Right.
well in advance of the new bleachers going in. And then what'll happen is we purchased 3-row bleachers for the turfs. So how many total?
10 bleachers that total 300 seats.
So we moved those over to Alred for a while until the new ones are put in. And then we'll move back.
We do have some other sets too. I think there's 4 other sets of those bleachers around too that we already own. So we can probably put, we can get almost 400 additional seats on the visitor side.
Will this disrupt spring sports at Alred?
Should not at all. So they are going to access the site through Proctor House. So they'll come in that way through Proctor House. They'll remove the fences and make sure it's out of the way. So it should not impact the vaulting or any of those activities happening for practices or the events. And then it would be our graduation plan. I know it's there, but there shouldn't be anything in the way for that as far as even views or anything of the bleachers. They'll be gone. They'll be okay.
I have one question. This
Yeah.
is kind of a general question for all.
Yeah.
Explain to me the base bid and the electrical bid.
So what we wanted to do there was when we put the bids out, we knew that there was work that had to get done. There were spots that we knew had to get done. So we looked at what are the other spots that need to get done that we would like to get done. Just for bleachers. So when you look at the base bid is what we know we have to get done. The alternate is if there is additional money to make it happen.
So the alternate bid was for a raised platform for ADA. So they did a voluntary alternate where they said we could actually do better than this two piece that you bid out. They could do it all in one raised set of bleachers with the ADA seating available in that raised set. So the proposal is to accept their voluntary alternate.
When we put those bids out, we'll put in a base and then the alternates we would like to see. And there's a line, as Chris said, that if they see like they can make our idea even better, that's when they put in a voluntary alternate for us to review.
And this is a nicer option because now the ADA seating is also included in for general seating and not just off to the side.
Correct.
So this was a great asset for them to
Right.
bring this to us.
Right.
And in general, when you do bids like this, you bid what you know any manufacturer could produce. And then what'll happen is you'll get the experts in the field. There's times that they'll look at it, go like they did here, go, we could just do this. It'll fit. We do this all the time. Where another bidder may not have been able to do that.
Discussion? It's been moved and seconded. We discussed it. So let's put to a vote to award contracts for bid package 1, category 12-1, bleacher replacement approval to Southern Bleachers for a total amount not to exceed $149,570. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Say nay. That's been approved. Moving on to the next, the last action item, which is the pavement rehabilitation bid approval. On March 7th, 2022, the Facilities Committee reviewed bids for the district pavement rehabilitation. Your packet contains a bid tabulation and recommendation letter from Greg McCullough.
I'll move that the Board of Education award contracts for bid package 1, category 32-1, pavement rehabilitation, additional paving for an amount not to exceed the base bid of $585,485.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, so the alternate, is that for all the years? You briefed us last time
Mhm.
on this, on all the plans, and we had primary gotta be done, and what we also would like to do.
Correct.
Is the alternate for what we would like to do?
Yep. So the total amount so the base bid right now for us is the Jenkins Early Childhood Center to pave that entire thing. The Wiley main lot up front is getting done for sure. There's spots, the entrances to the Dexter High School, and there's other spots within the high school that's getting done as well. And the bleachers were all what was bid out. The alternate total is about 933,000 are the price of all the alternates combined together. So what we wanted to do in order to look through what alternates we're going to select is part of the bond money we have of Series 1 is about $3.1 million. We also are getting bids in right now for the mechanical work to actually install the mechanical pieces, and then the turf restroom and storage building. What we want to do is see what are those totals before we decide on what alternates. They should be in here by mid-April. So we should know the total amount so we can go back and look at the add alternates then for the asphalt work of how we want to look at it, what we want done in the order. So that way we can have it all. We can have a better scope view of the whole of all the projects together so we can make a better choice.
Then you have to come back and get it.
Yeah, we'll have to come back.
Yes,
Absolutely.
We have if you remember, out of Series 1, we have $3.1 million or so left. We estimated that we had about 1.3 million-ish for asphalt paving. And then we estimated, I forgot what we So boilers, chillers.
That was about,
It was.
it was about
pretty
1
much-
point, what was it? It was about 1 point, when I added up, 1.2875.
Okay, so about 1.3 there.
Yeah.
We knew we had 4 million plus worth of bids that were gonna go out on the street, and then we knew that we needed to start picking and choosing from those quotes. So with the 60-day timeline for these quotes to still be good, the other mechanical bids just started to come in
Yep.
last week, so as we sort through them, in April, we'll meet with the facilities committee and kind of sort out what we really can afford. Because some of the mechanical, some of it we were going to do in series 2, but since we already had the vendors, we had the right companies bidding on it, we wanted to package it together to see if we can get some economies of scale. So it's just looking at the full picture. But the base bid of that 585-ish,
Mhm.
that is, we have to do that no matter what. And that gets us onto their schedule, so we can get the big project started, and then we can start adding on in April.
And that's that 60-day flexibility, and they are aware of that, knowing we kind of talked to them about our plan of when the other bids were coming to know. So they're willing to hold their prices till we know what alternates we can provide to get done.
Discussion?
So then we will, it's been moved and seconded, so we can vote on awarding the contract for bid package 1 category 32-1 pavement rehabilitation to Naval Paving for an amount not to exceed the base bid of $585,485. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Has been awarded. Next on our agenda, is usually discussion items. None scheduled. So we'll move on to our second opportunity for public participation. Each speaker is allotted in this second public participation opportunity a maximum of 3 minutes for a total of 15 minutes unless otherwise notified. At this point, the meeting, those interested in making a public comment will be asked to raise their hand so that time may be divided equally. Each speaker will be asked to announce his or their name and district of residence, and indicate if they represents the organization or agency. No person may speak more than once on the same subject during a single meeting. Those wishing to receive a personal response from the board or superintendent must complete a public comment form available at the meeting entrance and on our website. If anyone would like to speak, please raise your hand and come on up to the podium.
My name is Aisha Nambalira, and I am parent to Dexter Community School system. I have 2 children in the school, and I am here to ask for your attention.
Just to give you a microphone.
Sure.
so we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, I am here today to ask the board to save some time to listen to our concerns as a family in Dexter Community Schools. I have 2 boys, and for the last 3 to 4 years, we've been struggling at almost every office in Dexter Community School systems. There's no office we've not been to, and we've always been turned down. My son right now is a 12th grader, Patrick Grace Magala. He is supposed to have completed his school application. I was not very happy with the way I was treated, and I was very disappointed. I came in to meet with Miss Hope Estgard. She was not in her office. By luck, I found Mr. Chris. We did not settle anything. I have made attempts to contact Miss Nicole, the interim superintendent, to no avail. So I'm coming to the board, and if I can't get help here, where else can I go to find hope for my 2 boys?
You don't respond. It's public comment.
Okay, no, I'm just, okay. So how do I get, what happens after this? I mean, how does it run? I'm
Fill out a
sorry.
green card, we will respond to you in email.
So where can I get those?
By the door.
when you came in.
Oh, I didn't know how it runs. Thank you.
No problem.
You have time, plenty of time.
Could I?
You have plenty of time to fill it out.
Okay, I have a lot of incidents in this, and that's why I'm requesting for the school board to help me sit down, because it's been over the 4 years. And I would like, if you guys can sit down with me and we go through this, maybe you can tell me if this is a place where we belong or we don't belong. I'll end it at this. I'll go fill out the forms that you asked me to, and I'll wait. I pray that all of the school board can please be present and listen out and hear you partake on the way our family is being treated in the Dexter school system. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to participate?
So moving on to our next item on the agenda is our board comments. Sitting with now board comments. Spring break.
I will say, I love March because March is reading month and it's so much fun, like the competitions, my kids have just been reading nonstop and it's just been great. Actually, my daughter said on the way out, make sure you ask about the book fair because we're on vacation for the book fair. Like, oh, it's all about you and the book fair. But it's so awesome that she's that excited about it. So, yeah, I love March. You know, spring is around the corner.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna just throw in the Education Foundation of Dexter. They just wanted to give an update. This year they changed it up with their spring auction, and it's instead of in person, it's an online auction, and the bidding was open to the entire community. EFD wants to say a huge thank you to the many generous business and community members that donated. As of now, the auction bids are at a little over $19,000 and cash donations are about $6,000. So there's about $25,000 raised, and funds will go directly to impact EFD spring grants for DCS grades kindergarten through 12. And as of today, funds requested for 2022 spring education foundation teacher grants are $26,000. So, John. I just wanted to give a good update on that. And they have an event on the 23rd on Wednesday, and Aubrey's the time to donate. She gave me this one. And so you can also pick up your winning bids. All right. Please note the information items included in our packet, including the board bulletin from February 20th and March 7th. Elise Purley got an MESB award. Congratulations. Sharon Rashke is an MSBOA certification and draft facility minutes, which fact basically covered. We need a motion to move into closed session to speak about negotiations.
The Board of Education or to closed session for the purpose of discussing negotiations following 5-minute break.
Second motion.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor of moving into closed discussion to discuss negotiations after a 5-minute break, say aye. Aye. And opposed, say nay. All right. Recess for 5 minutes and then we'll go into closed session. Thank you all for coming.
Probably all the